A great way to support independent creators is through Patreon. Also, if you'd like, you can send a one-time Cash App donation to S.T.V Philly. We here at the channel appreciate every single ounce of support we've gotten thus far, and we'll keep it up as long as financially possible.
I slow, see I'm out of my mind. I pop with the 9, chop your dad, then I chop your child. I chop your brother, chop your mother, see I'm chopper style. I be rocking vials, so come and holler. Turk in the town, moving pounds of the powder. Burst with the pound, spinning round like an hour. Hit him up, put him in the dirt like a flower. I be moving nicks, try and flip like a collar. Show up to a set, leave him wet like a shower. I'm a set, I show you how to shoot it, don't be scared, give it head. I show you how to use it, I can show you a trooper. Tell them you a boss, I can tell them you a pussy, I can tell them you a fraud. Tell them ride, they gotta ride, move, they gotta move. I'm a grown man, so I do what I gotta do. 40 cal by the bang, I let it by the boom, by the car, get the keys, start the engine roll. Hit me, so my engine round, did you cause my wheels spin? Fitting with the thick body, looking like my girlfriend. Trying to reach a million. Every day I grind, every minute, every hour, every second, all the time. Vito, Corleone, I'm the captain of that getter shit. Blumberg citizen, to our die membership. Rat, get the fuck back, yeah, that's still me. I ain't Meek Mill, people feel that that's the real me. But it's so real that these haters wanna kill me. But I won't let them, this is chess and I'ma check them, wreck them, wet them. With that pants order net, 45 live, oh my god, that is slaughter shit. Notice we are warring it, hard as in a Corvette. Blumberg, water click, never been a traitor. You eatin', then you eatin', I never been a hater.
Like a crystal ball, Devin got the riot pump. He be on some hype ish, dropping like a detainer if he a flight risk. Vito turn it off and turn it on like a light switch. Call DZ the jeweler, cause DZ like that ice. I'm the boss, Vito, he the captain. Fully the assassin, Inferno, he the ratchet. You put your weapon down, pick your weapon up. Vito from the water, so like water, he gon' wet you up. Had his give a block in his face when I'm good.
If Vito was still in these streets, man, a lot of
niggas sounding me fucked up.
Yeah, man, cause Vito, like him and the record and all that shit, you wanna feel like going to him? Go ahead, like a lot of niggas, man. A lot of niggas say they love Vito, they fuck with Vito and all that, man. Well, everybody know what show love to a nigga, man. Don't you shout a nigga out and all that. You can say that shout out. Niggas, you show a nigga love, man. Show a nigga love, man. Like, for real, you shout a nigga out on the radio, you keep all that shit.
Yeah.
Nigga out, you can keep all that shit.
That shit ain't gonna free,
yeah,
that shit ain't gonna give his time back.
Nobody, nothing like that.
That shit ain't gonna get his time back. Like, niggas, you know, free Vito and all that. Like, it's cool. But it ain't gonna get his time back. You can't say you looking out when you're not really looking out, because nigga, you will get exposed.
This shit is real on this young,
like,
man.
niggas get exposed.
Got checkerboards on at all times and stuff like that, and belts that cost $6. But not this winter. Like this winter, there's a lot of people who fighting the pills and got to get up out that slammer and all that. Free Vito, I mean Turkey home, free DZ, and yeah, like guys got to come home, and we're gonna make sure that happens.
The streets are a lie. There's almost never a happy ending to these street tales. Prisons, mental institutions, death, paralysis, or a life as a convicted felon, which strips you of your right to legally own a gun, hinders your employability, and often leads you right back to the street lifestyle that got you there in the first place. Back in 1996, Hillary Clinton said,
"The fourth challenge is to take back our streets from crime, gangs, and drugs. And we have actually been making progress on this count as a nation because of what local law enforcement officials are doing, because of what citizens and neighborhood patrols are doing. We're making some progress. Much of it is related to the initiative called community policing, because we have finally gotten more police officers on the street. That was one of the goals that the president had when he pushed the crime bill that was passed in 1994. They are not just gangs of kids anymore. They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy. We can talk about why they ended up that way, but first we have to bring them to heel. And the president has asked the FBI to launch a very concerted effort against gangs everywhere.
I vehemently disagree with the sentiment that these kids are irredeemable or it's somehow their fault that they are in the conditions of extreme poverty, wealth inequality, and a system in which historically this country has placed them at the very bottom of the hierarchy. Young black boys are generally some of the most vulnerable individuals in this country to the things I just mentioned. If you add over-policing, broken families, the school-to-prison pipeline, untreated mental illness, toxic masculinity, and a society that up until very recently has told them that they absolutely don't matter, you have the exact recipe for what you are seeing today. Over 560 murders last year, 499 in 2020. The overwhelming majority of the shooters and victims were young black boys and men between the ages of 14 and 25. We see the problems in our community and can identify some of the causes. The solutions are a lot harder to get at. The United States has responded to poverty with different methods and various measures of success. There are 35 million people living in poverty in the United States today. In 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson announced a war on poverty. It was legislation aimed at getting federal funding to the organizations and individuals who were below the poverty line. It had many fans and many critics. One of the most famous critics of the new rules was Martin Luther King, who said, "Programs created under the war on poverty, such as housing programs, job training, and family counseling, all had a fatal disadvantage because the programs have never proceeded on a coordinated basis." And he noted that at no time has a total, coordinated, and fully adequate program been conceived.
Estimated that we spend $322,000 for each enemy we kill in Vietnam, while we spend in the so-called war on poverty in America only about $53 for each person classified as poor. The promises of the Great Society have been shot down on the battlefield of Vietnam.
In the 1960s, Philadelphia's way to help alleviate poverty was to build various housing projects throughout the city, the most notorious of them being the Norman Blumberg projects, or the Blum. When Blumberg was built in the late 1960s, it was at the tail end of a public high-rise building boom in Philadelphia. Federal housing officials at the time said it was the best way to house the largest number of people for the least amount of money. It was also a way to clear blighted blocks in the inner city. Slum clearance, they called it. The Blumberg complex took up 8 acres of the North Philly neighborhood known as Sharswood and consisted of 2 brick high-rises, a senior tower, and 15 low-rise buildings, all clustered around a courtyard. By the late 1960s, when the first families were moving into Blumberg, public housing had already gotten a bad reputation in America, and the story of Blumberg is the story of many high-rises across the country. The towers became homes of just concentrated poverty, being built in poor, mostly black neighborhoods like Sharswood, where middle-class families, mostly white, were moving out, and there were very few opportunities for work. What comes along with concentrated poverty is a host of other social ills, disinvestment in not only the housing, but the schools and other community amenities, which then leads to other problems like crime and violence. By the time more than 500 families were forced to move out in 2016 in preparation for its demolition, the poverty and crime rates at Blumberg were double the rest of the cities. Crime maps show Blumberg like a bright red dot in the middle of Sharswood, a clearly marked hotspot for violent and drug crimes. Many families who lived in the Blum moved into buildings that were first built and have been there for a few generations. It was one of the most tight-knit, yet most dangerous part of the city for decades. A lot of young black men who were born there have succumbed to the street life and mentality. One of them is Daniel Johnson, or better known on the streets as Vito. In May of 2009, Vito was sentenced to life in prison after being convicted of first-degree murder in the shooting of an unattended bystander who was struck in a hail of bullets from an AK-47 outside a Harrisburg bar. At the time of his sentencing, he faced 2 more homicide trials in Philadelphia, where he was captured after the February 2008 shooting outside the Jazzland bar that killed Malik Young Sr. On January 11, 2013, Vito was convicted of another murder that took place outside a bar on Pike Street. Vito is currently fighting his conviction and is in the appeal process. What's up, brother?
Yo, what's up with you, bro? How you?
I'm good, man. So, yeah, what did you, how you holding up, first of all? How you holding up, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I'm maintaining. I feel good. You know what I mean? I'm alright, man. Real shit, man. Good, bro.
All right. Anytime I talk to somebody that's you know, behind them walls, I always gotta check on their spirit and their mental and make sure they holding up, man. Cause I know they try to break you in there, bro. I know what they doing there, man.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
That's what it's designed to do, man. No doubt, man. So I'm definitely on everything and trying to protect myself from the mental oppression, man, as much as I could, man.
Yes, because you gotta protect your mind in there, because that's the strongest thing. Your body, your physical might be strong, but you gotta keep your mental the strongest. You know that. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know. I got you. We recording right now, so I just wanted to make you aware of that. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
That's cool.
Good. Yeah, no doubt.
And then it's not everything. Like, you mean, you can say whatever you want. We can. You gonna have full editorial control over what words that you speak will go on. You know, that will go on the actual video. So speak freely. Don't worry about nothing. You know, I got you, bro. I got you. I'm not gonna put nothing out there to. You know what I mean?
Say no more. Say no more. I'm with it.
All right. All right. So did send you the questions from last night?
Bro, send me the questions, man. Like I said, man, I'm free. Like, I'm free, man. I'm definitely ready for everything, man. So we can just go. You know what I mean?
Where'd you go to school, and what was your like feeling towards education at the time?
I was, you know, my first school that I started off, my elementary school.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
It was Reynolds. I went from Reynolds right down the street. I went to Boston, and eventually, Ben Franklin ended up Ben Franklin High School ended up being the high school that I went to in 9th grade, like the last grade that I completed. But you know, school for me was like a place for me to like spread my wings. You know what I'm saying? I come from the projects, and anybody that ever lived in the projects know that's like a world within a world. I mean, when you got your own culture, you got your own values, and you got your own set of dudes that you strictly be around. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me. So when I finally got a chance to go outside of the neighborhood, it was like me meeting a new world. I'm meeting new chicks. I'm meeting from other neighborhoods I never met. I'm listening to the lingo. And it was like a chance for me to really spread my wings, because my father was real strict. I had a dad who was on my top for everything. So the only time I really got to be me was able to college when I was away, and that was like the school.
What was mom like? You said dad was real strict. What tip was mom on?
Dad was disciplined. My mom was like a sweetheart. You know what I'm saying? But my pop was like the king of the castle, so I was getting my ass whooped.
Okay.
Like I said, my pop, man, he grew up real rough, man. He ain't really know. He thought he was teaching me tough love, but it was making me tougher. It was making me colder. You know what I'm saying? Because for everything, Dad, who knows, will beat your ass. This how I'm supposed to be. He ain't gonna tell you he love me. So I found love out in them streets. You know what I'm saying? And
wow.
That's how it was for me.
Wow. No, that's an interesting dynamic you just mentioned there, because parenting is a very thin line to walk, because, you know, like, I mean, in a situation, your situation isn't unique in a sense that when you have overly disciplinary parents, and this is not to put blame on your father or nothing, but this is just the effect that it can have on people, you know.
Yeah, no doubt, because knowing, like, when you know, when I was young, I didn't understand what it was, but now that I'm older, now that I've read, now that I learned to educate myself, you know, it's that slave master mentality that get passed down. So the mothers and the fathers used to have to beat the kids' ass for the slave master don't beat their ass, but kids don't learn like that. You know what I'm saying? You whooping the kids' ass, they not gonna learn from that. All they gonna learn is to be more rebellious because don't nobody learn from getting their ass whooped. You get what I'm saying? Like that's not human nature. That's gonna toughen them and make them more tougher. But you know, our parents get that from the slave master days, and it just got passed down from generation. I'm gonna eat it. So the master don't do it. They put their things down even more violently. So it was a protection thing that we used, but now we get passed down generation after generation, and we don't even understand the abuse that we're doing to our kids and our children. We don't even understand generational abuse getting passed down.
That's real, bro.
Good that I frequented, but like for the most part, my stopping grounds was from Diamond Street projects all the way down over the Blumberg project. That was the main area that I frequented every day. You know what I'm saying? Like that was so anything in between that I walked past. I walked from Diamond Street to the Birch Streets to Montgomery to Ridge Avenue to Turner to all the way down. That was the areas that I was stopping past. You know what I'm saying? Like so all the dudes that was in between all of that, that's the neighborhood that I started to learn. Because, you know, I was, like I said, originally I was in a project, but what happened was they did renovations on it, and they started building a project there, so we moved down the Diamond Street project until Blumberg was done.
I used to live right on 21st and Cecil B. Moore, and I used to venture in the in the Blumberg sometimes to grab some tree or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you now, bro. If I didn't know a couple people in there, I would not have never stepped foot in there because it's like it's a whole different world in that joint. Like you stepping, it was enclosed, and it was like once you got in there, you in there, bro. You know what I mean? So I'm familiar with your area a little bit. I'm just like I'm glad I knew a couple people in there. I mean, they kept me safe. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You was gonna say something?
No, I'm just saying it's crazy that it was wild, but now that I'm removed from it, I'm able to look like, damn, you know, my lifestyle was crazy. But when I was put up in it, that just was regular day life.
It was just everyday life, right? Because you don't know nothing else. Like I'm not gonna say you don't know nothing else, but you haven't experienced anything else. You know what I mean? Like so that is your whole world.
No doubt.
And that's a transgenerational problem. Like that'll go from generation to generation, you know, like yeah. So all right. Question number 3. What age were you when you first got arrested?
I was 13 or 14 years old. First time I ever got arrested was for a burglary, and I didn't even do it. I wound up receiving a stolen property, and when the cops came, they locked me up for the burglary. You know, I ain't do no talking, I ain't do no telling. So yeah, that was like my first.
My fault. My daughter had turned the TV up. Okay. All right. All right. So how old were you when you first got shot, and how did that? Oh, this is a 2-part question. How old were you when you first got shot, and then how did that change? Did that change your attitude towards the streets?
Well, I was 15 years old when I got shot, and it definitely had a huge effect on me. It definitely had, like, it took, like, people used to tell me all the time, like, man, you ain't the same since you got shot. But it definitely made me more defensive. You know what I mean? I seen my mom cry. I was in a coma for 3 months.
Wow.
I was down and I was out. So it changed me in ways that I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? But it made me more defensive. It made me more revengeful. Like I felt some type of way because it was like a strike against me. And especially scenario, so it was just a strike against me. And I just made a promise to myself, like, you know, man, I ain't never gonna put myself in a situation like this. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm never gonna put myself in my mind crap.
Right. That's a horrible position to put your mom in. So were you, without getting too detailed, were you targeted or were you just around the wrong people, or like, you know what I mean?
I
like
was on a mission.
Okay.
I was on a mission. I was out there. I was on a mission. You know what I'm saying? Wind up going back.
Right. Okay. We don't gotta say no more on the situation. All right. So when did your relationship with Joey Jihad first start, and what was y'all's relationships in terms of dynamics, and are y'all still cool?
Alright. So my relationship first started with Joey when I was on house arrest. But you know, at this time, before I got on house arrest, right after I got shot. Cause no places would take me. But once I got shot, you know what I mean, they had to just put me on house arrest to hold me. So I wound up meeting Joey because Joey came down to my crib with Young Bob one day to record me for Headshots DVD. So I wound up spitting. I wound up going in, and the connection just was love. You know what I'm saying? He was buzzing at this time. And
what year was this?
Knew, like,
if you can remember.
This was about, I'm thinking around like 04, 05.
Right.
Sometime around there, 04, 05. We wound up linking up, and since that day, it just was love. We just was cool with each other. You know what I mean? He was coming down to my project, like, come down here, man, come fuck with me. He'd come down, he'd come around the whole project, he'd walk around. I'm like, bro, you good? We gonna link up, and he just noticed the respect that I had in my hood. You know what I'm saying? At this time, I'm a young boy. I'm 14, 15 years old. Got shot all up. You know what I'm saying? So he just knew that I was different in that way. He knew I was raw. He knew I was rugged, and I just was appreciating the love because he was down there like a celebrity at this time.
Right.
So we was cool. It was all love. I wound up getting locked up, and I wound up getting caught with a gun, and I got locked up. And at the time when I got locked up, this one, the situation happened when he got snuck. Somebody punched him or whatever like that.
What year was that? I'm sorry, not to interrupt you. But what year did that whole situation happen with the catching him on camera?
I think like 2005, 06, somewhere around that time.
Oh wow, that was longer than I thought. Okay, all right. Cause I remember when all that went down. Okay, all right. But that okay, so that happened. Go ahead, continue the story.
Yeah, that happened. Locked up one day, so I called him. And I didn't even know that it happened. And I wound up calling my home. And like, damn, he answered the phone for me, talked to me, told me he got me or whatever like that. I need you out here, bang. So the whole time I was locked up, he was looking out for me. Anything that I asked him for, he was looking out for me. He was doing more than dudes around my way was doing. So I'm like, when I get home, man, I'm fucking with you and we gonna do it. So I wound up getting home. When I got home, we was inseparable. I'm like, listen, bro, whenever you with me, man, and we gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that no more. I'm gonna hold you down, bro. I got you. I'm gonna make sure you ain't never got to worry about getting snaked. And that's just what it was. We was inseparable. So I started writing more. I started doing more music because I was doing the music, but I wasn't never really putting my heart into it because I was out there ripping and running the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was trapping. I was out there, and I had old heads calling me up, yo, V, this is the situation. We need this. We need that.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Between my man Turk, this when I really started honing my rap skills. So it was like one minute I was in the streets down the project, and then my dynamic with Joey was we was doing music, we was getting away. He was taking me out of town. Chelsea, he was taking me to Delaware, he was taking me to New Jersey. I was seeing a different part of things with him, and that's one thing I always thank him for, because he did take me out of the hood. He did take me away from strictly Blumberg. He did take me around the city and let me, see different things and let me link up with other dudes, and that's where a lot of my love come from now, other than my hood. So that was our relationship. He was like my brother. You know what I'm saying? He was like my brother, and I was there for him. He was there for me, and that's how we was rocking at that time.
So my next question is actually going to be void then, because I was going to ask, was there any jealousy involved either way, like him towards you, you think, or you towards him? I mean, you can answer that question, but go ahead.
Yeah, we ain't never had we ain't never had no jealousy, of course. Like our relationship now, because I'm in prison, you get what I'm saying, it's definitely not the same. Like, I ain't heard nothing from Had in years, you know what I'm saying? And I told a lot of dudes, not just him, but I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need help, bro. Like, I'm in here, and I'm not the same individual that I grew up. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel some type of way, especially to him, because I got the right to feel some type of way to him, because at the end of the day, I was there for him like nobody else was ever there for him.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? But I don't hold hate. I don't hold no resentment. I don't hold no jealousy in my heart for him. But, I definitely wish that things could be better. And I hope that maybe when he hear this, or when he see this,
is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
Exactly what I'm on, because I need help, man, and I'm fighting and I'm trying. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting it together, man. I'm doing this shit from the muscle by myself.
That's real, bro. Listen, that's probably the realest answer you could have gave, because I know a lot of people would feel some type of way being in your situation and y'all relationship. So I appreciate the honesty on the answer on that. All right, so that you and had y'all were cool, and you know y'all had a relationship, kind of a give and take. You know, like y'all you had something to offer him, in terms of, like, you know, I wouldn't say street credit or protection, but like he felt safe moving in certain neighborhoods with you. And with him, the sort of give and take to with you was, you know, he was on a little bit, you know, he was popping, he was popular, and he could show you different, or not show you, but he introduce you to things that you might not have seen otherwise. Is that you that's accurate? Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm pretty I understand y'all relationship there. Now, did you have a relationship with Meek?
No doubt, I had a relationship with Meek. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I knew Meek. We grew up in the same era. He was from Burke Street. I was from Blumberg, but I moved down Diamond Street, so I walked past him there my whole life.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I knew exactly who he was. You know, at that time, at one point, we never really spoke like that. You know how I go. You from a different neighborhood. I'm from a different neighborhood, but we understand who each other is, and he was tearing it down at this time. He was a hot bar spitter, and I was a hot bar spitter. So you know, we had like this defensive type energies towards each other. But as we got older, and as we both started to advance in the game, I was dealing with Hag. He was doing his thing with headshots or whatever like that. It became all love. Whenever I seen him, you know what I mean, he come down my neighborhood, he already know, bro, you good, you ain't got to worry about nothing. Whenever I was in the streets, it was the same thing. I respected him because he was a street dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't none of these suckers. He was none of these weirdos. He was involved. Yeah, involved. You know what I'm saying? So that was our relationship, and you know, we ran across each other a lot. You know what I mean? From our party days when we was throwing parties, and you know what I mean, we was in the studio a lot of times, around each other a lot of times, and he got he fighting for the same thing that I'm fighting for, man. We got the same goals. We try and both awake our people, man, and try to fight this wicked system, man. So it's definitely all love between me. I definitely wish that I could get at him and have an outlet to him, because I'm passionate about trying to just awaken our people, man, and just give them game. And I hope that we could link up one day. But I understand, man, he got a lot going on. But I definitely want to link up with him and see how I can help galvanize the troops that's in here, and then link up with his movement for prison reform, because I definitely got a lot of issues that I'm getting together with the fellas in here, man, and we fighting, man, and we pushing, and we trying to save our people, man. So that's how my relationship started with me, from him being around the same neighborhood, the same guys he know, same guys I know, and whenever we met each other, it was all love, man.
Well, since we on the topic, man, and this isn't one of the written questions, but I'm appreciating your answers so far. So let me ask you this. All right, so you came up in the I'm gonna call it the DVD era. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Have you been listening to music lately out of Philly?
Yeah, I've been listening to music lately.
What's your opinion on this whole drill scene and this drill culture, and the way that rap, I guess, has changed in the last 10 years?
Alright, I have several different answers, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to become the old head that's in jail, that's stuck in his era, stuck in his time, or whatever like that. So I like to listen to the talent. I say, damn, this dude is talent. But a lot of the shit is trash music. They not really talking about nothing. The dudes can't really rap. Everybody got the style, and for me, understanding, I can relate to them because I was them.
Mm-hmm.
I was them young boys that was out there that was talking about the struggle that was in it. But from now, a conscious perspective, and now the destruction that we are all causing without music. Because music always been the vessel. It's always been the thing that kept us together. Music always been the key to our soul, the rhythm to our soul, and the force behind the people in the movement. If you look back in the 60s, 70s, we was talking about fighting against the system and bringing black together, and black is beautiful. And now that you listen to the music, it's leading people to a path of chaos and destruction. So we got to be careful with what we putting out there because it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You got these kids talking about drilling, they talking about living this lifestyle, and it's a false lifestyle. It's not real. And you think that your homie's going to be loyal, you think that your homie's going to be real to you, got another thing coming. I'm telling you because I am that. I was this dude that was real. I'm up here with all the dudes who claim they was real and claim that they not suckers and they got 100 years and ain't nobody doing nothing from them. They mom's dying and they father's dying and ain't nobody even trying to answer the phone for them. So at the end of the day, we got to watch the message that we giving to the people because if not, then this vicious cycle is going to keep on continuing. It's going to keep on continuing because words is powerful and you be your words. You know what I'm saying? So you got to watch your words, you know what I mean? You got to watch your thoughts because your thoughts become your words and watch your words because your words become your actions. So like, you know what I mean? We just got a lot that we really got to focus on, and man, we got to be responsible for everything that we put out, and it got to have some type of substance behind it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's real, man. It's real. Like the young boys out there, they killing each other now, back and forth, and it's for nothing. And the cycle keep on continuing. Like we got to realize who our enemies is. You know what I'm saying? Because when I'm up here and now I'm looking around, it's like, damn, he killed another black person. He killed another black person, and you don't even understand. We all oppressed. We all going through the same struggle, and this is what oppressed people do. The Italians was doing it to each other. You know what I'm saying? Before they brought in programs and things to help them prosper and get out of it. Now our people caught up in it, and then the cycles keep on continuing because we don't understand our history. We don't understand who the true enemies is. So our mind state and everything that we're doing is coming from a Western point of view. So now our values becoming, I'm going to kill you over this money, over this block. I'm going to get the money and I'm going to spend the money with the Europeans. I'm going to kill you or I'm going to fuck and I'm going to do this. I'm going to get this and get my ass done and then spend the money with the Europeans. In return, we tearing down our neighborhoods. In return, we hurting our own people. And we caught up in the same cycle and it's not getting us nowhere, man. So we have to be responsible for what we put out there, especially the ones that understand this. And this is where I stand at, and this is where I come from. Like, damn, I'm sitting back, I'm up there, and I got a duty to my people, man, and give it to them real. And I'm going through that, man, no matter if I'm out there, no matter if I'm in here, man, because freedom is a perspective. You know what I'm saying? I talk to some people on the phone, and they more depressed than I am, and I'm in here with this situation, man. So I'm fighting, bro. I'm just going, and I feel like I got a duty to my people, man, and just give them game real, man, and that's what I'm going to do.
And that depression thing is real because if you listen to like, all right, just
you have 1 minute left.
Damn, I was just gonna say just real quick. I got a couple more questions. Maybe we can get them in later, but just to touch on what you were saying, the pain thing is real because if you listen to these guys' interviews and you listen to these guys talk, they talk about the pain and they try to wrap it up and put a pretty bow on it in the videos and the music and stuff, but it ain't nothing pretty about it, man. This is all pain. This is all mental torment that's been going on in the hoods, and we see the results of it.
I can hit you back one more time. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, do that. Hit me right back. All right.
Reading and being uneducated, being inside the hood. You know what I'm saying? 15 years old, you go through this traumatic situation, and you got the dudes who I'm around and the rules and the regulations of the game that I'm following this thing. I mean, you get put in this situation, you got to turn up, you know what I mean? Get hit or get killed. You don't ever want to be in this position no more. And I'm thinking, all right, damn, I got to turn up instead of turning down.
And when somebody try, go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, bro.
Oh, go, you good, bro?
All right, so when somebody gets shot, right? Like, all right, in the normal world where you're not living in, when you're not living in the projects and living in the situation that you was in, like in the normal world, who would you turn to in a situation like that? Like you saying you was having issues with your dad, so you can't turn to him. You mean your whole right. That's what I'm trying to get at. Your whole legacy tells you not to turn to the police. So where do you turn to?
You have 1 minute left.
Right.
Living in projects in North Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing but killers, drug dealers, and treachery. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm put up in. That's what I was left to deal with. So I'm a product of my environment. You know what I'm saying? And it's only until I learn, like, oh, it's something different than that. It's another route than that. Okay, and this is where we went wrong at. So I learned my history, man. You know what I'm saying? Then you learn, oh, it's something else. Like, they told us this. They told us to hate each other. They told us to hate each other. We wasn't functioning like this before these people invaded us. You know what I'm saying? We didn't treat our women like this until these people came and gave us a format to treat our women like this. Our women was queen, princess, stuff like that. Like, we didn't treat our women the way that we treated our women. We didn't hate ourselves. We didn't carry ourselves like that.
Monitoring.
No doubt, I'm here.
All right, so let's just get into however much you're comfortable getting into. I'll let you lead the way. So can you just lead me into why you're incarcerated today, as obviously as much as you can get into. I don't want you to say anything you're not comfortable saying, but let's just tell the people like what your situation is currently.
All right, so, you know what I mean? Basically, right now, I'm convicted of 5 separate homicides. But, so basically, I was charged with a homicide, being one of my rappies. Shout out to Gold, Free Gold. I was charged with a homicide, and basically, man, like every week, man, they was coming to hounding me. They was coming hounding me about murders. You know what I mean? Every week they pulling me out. They're like, we're gonna charge you with this murder. We're gonna charge you with this murder. Or we just heard about another murder out in Harrisburg. So then they take me to Harrisburg. They charge me with that murder. So that's my second body that I got charged. Then they come like a month later and charge me with another homicide. Then my lawyer comes to visit me. Well, not my lawyer, this public defender that I had. You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't nobody look out for me. Ain't nobody help me out. So he came and said, listen, man, they want you for 3 other murders, especially 2. They want to come charge you with these 2 murders. So the whole time I was locked up for about 5 to 6 years, still going to court. I wound up getting convicted in 9 months out Harrisburg. You know what I'm saying? They played file, gave the witnesses bills.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
I received a life sentence out there in 9 months. I had a life sentence, so I was coming back and forth down Rick. They had me locked down. They had me housed on death row. I was housed on the same block with Mumia. You know what I'm saying? I was locked on the same block with, mind you, I'm 19 years old, 20 years old, and I'm on death row. You get what I'm saying? So I'm still going to trial in Philadelphia for 2 other homicides at this time. So when I go down to go fight a homicide that I'm on in my Philly case with my Rappy Gold, I lose. I get a life sentence. Now remind you, I got another homicide that I'm fighting a month later. And I put my family through a lot. My mom and them stressing, she's going through a lot. And I talked to my lawyer. I said, listen, I know that they want me for these other homicides. So how about y'all give me 20 to 40, but y'all run it together with this life sentence that I already got. So the DA wanted convictions, and I knew they wanted convictions. I knew they was hoping for convictions. You know what I'm saying? They tried to get me to implement other people inside these homicides. No dice. I ain't doing no talking. I ain't going out like that. 43 separate homicides, and y'all run them together with the homicide that I just lost. That's what they did. So them three homicides are run concurrent, which means that they ran together with the life sentence that I got. So once I get my life sentence back, all I have is about 5, 6 years left to do on this 20 to 40. The life conviction that I got in Harrisburg is about to get overturned. The case about to get tossed because they just now found a Brady violation. You know what I'm saying? They did me dirty. They gave witnesses bills that they lied about. So, you know what I mean? Even though the docket may seem heavy and it may seem like a heavy situation, the lane is wide open for me. My appeal is in right now for my Philadelphia homicide, and I'm in the midst of getting a lawyer, but I need help. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did me dirty. When they find out and they hear your name in a bunch of different situations, they just going to charge you and charge you and charge you and charge you up. But the thing that they did was the evidence didn't, the physical evidence didn't line up to what the witnesses were stating. And as I got smarter, as I got wise and start learning law, I found a lot of errors that they did. They played dirty, man. They got me out of the way. I just was young. I just was poor, and I ain't know anything. Back then, life wasn't worth living, that this shit was about that, and that I was the game meant so much, and being real to your homies gonna mean so much. But then I found out 15, 16 years later that game don't care about me. Don't nobody care about me, man. That it's not real. Now, man, them dudes screaming, we don't deal with rats. They up here dealing with rats. Dudes is on the streets dealing with rats. All this you ride for your homies, you be there for your homies. It's false. Lifestyle, you know what I mean, that I glorified, that I was living up to, that we fall victim to, like it's BS. You know what I mean? When I was out there in it, I thought that it was the realest thing to me and that it really meant something. I mean, only to find out at the getting in here that I've been lied, that I've been tricked, that I've been deceived, that my real enemies, not my own people, and not the dude that's down the street, that it's this wicked system that caging us, that's locking us in, that's having us hate each other. So we so much distracted by the things that's going on in our urban communities that we can't even really see who the real enemy is and what we have to do, man. So I just want the youth and all them young boys that's out there, man, caught up in it, man. I just want them to get themselves some time, man, and just be truthful with themselves, man. And when you be truthful with yourself and when you do you and not worry about what society try to set, then you'll be successful, man. And learn your history, man, because it's pivotal. In order to know where you're going, you got to know where you've been.
And in your particular situation, you didn't even have really time to see. I think a lot of the time, what happens is, you know, you said that the first time you got shot, you was 15. So your whole, I mean, that obviously would take any type of normalcy out of your life at that point. And so I think a lot of the times we're catching these kids a little bit too late, because you said you were facing these murder charges at 19.
Yeah.
So
19 years old.
yeah, so you know, a lot of times that's like too late to catch people. Like, so if, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, how do we get these kids younger, like, you know, before they hit puberty? Like, because there's no 10-year-old that's just, you know, living a normal life and then just decides one day, you know, sitting in class, I'm gonna pick up a gun. Or
we have to do like this, like the real men that's out there. And I'm happy that a lot of awareness is going on, that a lot of dudes is doing this now. It's keeping it real with them, but we have to. You know what I'm saying? We have a duty to get this out, man. I appreciate you getting my voice out there, and I hope that some young boys do hear, like, damn, you know, Bull was really in it, and the game did him dirty like this, you know what I'm saying? And he ain't getting nothing from it, like that shit bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I hope that this message get out there, because we have to grip our kids up young.
This is a call from Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution. Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
And that's why it's important for the fathers to be around. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a role that the fathers have to take, and we have to use a system and a structure and a way of parenting our youth. We have to use it we have to use our method. You know what I'm saying? Building up a community and having a spiritual system that's built and that's in place based off of what our ancestors was on, based off what we was on, because we following a whole different standard, and we following something that's not even us.
right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we beating our kids' ass. We're not telling our kids that we love them, so therefore they're going out to the streets. And that's all I wanted. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you this because I was once them young boys. I just wanted love. I wanted love from my father. You get what I'm saying? I wanted love. I wanted him to hang around me, to be around me, to show compassion and things like this. To be told that, yeah, you good, you all right, that you could do anything that you want. And I needed him to really guide me and be there. Now, he loved me without a doubt. He loved me, but his love was, he showed it in a different place because he didn't have a format where he was growing it. So we got to break the cycle. You know what I'm saying? We got a duty to break the cycle, man, and we got to learn how to love each other. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know how to love each other. We think that loving is giving a young boy a gun, that loving is giving a young boy some work, that love is, yeah, man, this is how you're supposed to do, and it's some bullshit. We mixing the game up in between real life, so we getting real life and the game construed. You know what I'm saying? So we trying to mix real life with rules by the game, and it don't mix. You get what I'm saying? We got to teach each other right and not use them rules of that game, because that game is bullshit. That ain't nothing but a tool used to destroy each other, to get over on each other, to manipulate our women, to manipulate our young boys that's out there, man. And we get caught up in the same circle, in the same cycle. And you only realize it when you're done. By the time we're 19, 18, we done. You know what I'm saying? You done. Either you getting killed, or you went here and you got 1 million years. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how it goes.
And being as though that this was, in my opinion, systematically implemented, like these.
You have 1 minute left.
These things basically just weren't. This isn't by accident. So, is this your last minute, or you get the call back, or what?
Well, I'll probably call back in like 15 minutes if that's cool, bro.
Yeah, that's cool. So just go ahead. I'll give you the last 30 seconds, bro.
You know, I just want to, have a shout out to everybody that's rocking out for the jails, man, and just let the people know, man, that I'm trying, man, and I need the help. We need the support, man. The prisons need help. We need support, man, in order for us to get our message out there to the youth, man, and just let people know that, you know what I mean, we ain't working, that it's not all over for us, and that it's not done, man. So, you know, I appreciate the outlet, and I just appreciate the love.
Perfect. All right, give me a call back when you can, bro.
All right, say no more.
All right. All right. All right. So we got Vito back here. We were talking about giving people a platform to speak to the youth, to the younger guys. I mean, I'm aiming for kids 16 and under, really 15 and under. Really, I want to catch them as young as possible, because you know, a lot of times by the time you are 14 or 15, your mind can be made up on which direction you're going to take in life, or circumstances have already made that up for you. So, all right, just to put a time frame, we talked, Vito, we talked a little bit about your situation, but just to put a time frame on it, you was 19 when you first got arrested. I mean, for this situation.
I was 19 years old.
All right, so what year was this?
08.
08. So you've been sentenced for the last 13 years straight?
13 going on 14, yup.
All right.
19 years old. And I got arrested in June of 2008.
Okay. June of 2008. And that was just for one homicide, correct? And then as you were sitting, they just kept stacking them on top and stacking them on top. All right. So I guess a couple questions I have is one, how big of a part, or no, let's just put it like this. If all you're exposed to is the negative aspects of the hood, how as a child who hasn't been reached yet by a positive adult, like what type of mind frame do you think somebody would have to be in to go down the path that people like yourself did? Like, I heard you explain about your parents and how they were, but like even outside the home, what type of things were you seeing every day that kind of normalized the street life?
I see everything you could imagine inside our urban communities. I seen murder, I seen robbery, I seen drugs, I seen sex, I seen the worst of the worst. But it was normal to me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't until I got into here to where as though I was able to have conversations with people from different walks of life, or talk to people from different walks of life on the phone, and recognize, like, damn, like what I was going through was normal. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was normal to, all right, damn, he got a gun on me, he trying to get a gun, or he beefing. All right, what's his name got killed? All right, damn, like, one of my homies gonna get killed this year. How many of us gonna get killed? Who is gonna be? Is it gonna be me next? Like, that's normal. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way that it go.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, just to go off what you were saying. You were saying it's normalized now. Also, like people's relationship with law enforcement in terms of like, if you see now, I know you said your situation, you're not talking to cops, and I don't blame you in your situation, but just say to somebody who knows something about an incident and either are afraid to come forward because they've been ingrained, it's been ingrained.
Pennsylvania State Correctional Institution, Green. This call is subject to recording and monitoring.
It's been ingrained in their head that snitching is not the right way to go. Not only that, even if you in your heart of hearts you feel like reporting on something you've seen or telling on a murder, even if you do feel like that's the right way to go, the community will give you so much pushback that and the whole reason I bring this up is because I'm making a video about how this young guy, he was 23, he got killed on the 4th of July, and there's so many people in the community that knows what happened, right? And not that I'm saying that people need to come forward, but I think one of the ways like we can kind of, I know it starts with us, but like in our mindset, but like what was like the relationship with law enforcement, and I guess like how can we not bridge the gap, because I don't think there is a way to bridge a gap with the current state of the policing in this city, but like what can the community do? Because I know that like 99% of people are not with all this violence. So like what can the community do to kind of like help this out?
You got to understand that they never gonna help us with our problems. They wasn't put in place to help us with our problems. We got to understand the origin of police.
Turn that all the way down.
First.
I did, yeah.
So they were established to watch over property, watch over slaves. So when I had a little kid that's years old, and their mannerisms automatically off the blank, they gonna feel everything that their ancestors felt when they see a police officer or when he met with that presence, because energy is real. You know what I'm saying? And this system will never be for us. And they are the entity that put us in place. But it's people behind those people. So then you'll go to the officers, and then you'll go to the judges, and then you'll go to the politicians.
Absolutely.
All this is the truth. You know what I'm saying? So it's deeper than just the police. You know what I'm saying? They're never going to be forced, because the origins of them and what it was created by, they was put into place to put fear in us, to install fear in us, to kill us, to do us dirty, and that's why I'm damning it now. So there's never be the answer for us. What we have to do, we have to police ourselves and deal with our own problems and be honest. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
We got to be honest, because there's a reason why we act in the way that we act, and they don't want to fix our problems. I never met a police officer and felt safe in my life. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been a police officer in my life and felt, damn, I'm safe, or that they good for me. I always met them and I was filled with suspicion. You know what I'm saying? And that's because the reality is not the reality. The reality is the reality. They're the ones that's gunning us down. They're the ones that's treating us on.
You have 1 minute left.
Lying to us. They're the ones that's doing us dirty. That's what the reality is. So we have to really, really, really dig deep, and we have to understand even what we're trying to change. Because them stories going to keep coming up. There's going to be dudes that's going to be telling, and there's going to be dudes that's going to be caught up in that shit and that lifestyle forever. We have to target the lifestyle. We have to be against that. We got to understand that system from buying from them people, from supporting them people, and supporting Western culture and Western civilization in this whole. We have to eradicate that whole mind state. We have to kill a mind state. When you kill a mind state, and when you learn your history, you learn your people, when you learn what was going on, then you will be in a position to fight them. Until not, you just caught up in it.
Let's for all my brothers on lockdown. Let it get better.
Real rap,
Peace.
Man. Yeah. I know how we do.
All right. I hope I
yeah.
sound good. I ain't want to disrespect.
Oh, no.
Thank you, baby. How you got?
Yeah, we in the Blum, baby. You know how that go. Yeah. Free Vito, man. Seriously, man. Real rap.
Yeah.
We out.